If you had told me that one day I'll be doing this, then I would laugh it off because I never saw myself doing this. Maybe because of where I was coming from, because of the background that I was coming from. And sometimes where we are coming from tends to make us limit ourselves, and we think that this is our story. And today I'm reminded the book of Judges, chapter 6, from verse 13. You know, when God was calling Gideon, he called him a mighty man of valor. But at that time that he was calling him a mighty man of valor, this guy was just working in the field like a shamble boy. This guy was a very fearful guy, but God was calling him a mighty man of valor. God was calling him to lead an army. By that time God is calling him, this guy was going through, and he was in a season of discouragement, because even in verse 13, one of the things he mentioned, he said that if God, you are with us, why are we going through all this? And sometimes when God confirms some things to you, you're like, kama Mungu kona mimi, mbona uliniachilia? If God, you're with me, why did you allow me to go through all this? Why have you allowed me to go through all this if you're with me? And sometimes when we are going through the issues of life, we tend to think that is our identity. But God is calling you to something that is even bigger. God was calling him a mighty man of valor at a point where he was feeling like, I don't deserve it. But I want you to know one thing. I don't know which situation you are in, and I don't know where you are at life. Probably you are at the lowest of the lowest point of your life. But I want you to know that is not your identity. God is calling you a mighty man, because God is calling something that it is yet to be revealed. So God is here to reveal what you have inside of you. Some of you are going to be great employers. Some of you are going to be great innovators, great leaders, and God is calling that out. And probably when you look at the reality and look at what God is saying, they're two totally different. But guess what? God is not looking at what you are right now. God is looking at your potential. God is saying in the book of Jeremiah 29 from verse 11 that I know the plans that I have for you. You know, and even the Bible says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. So God called great things in your life. And so don't look at your life right now and you think this is all I've got. But let me tell you, there is something special that God has put inside of you, and it's going to be revealed. And so don't be discouraged. It doesn't matter if you feel like God has left you. You feel like, kama Mungu amenitia ministry, if God has called me for ministry, if God has called me for this or that, if God has promised to give me this or that, then I should not be going through all this. But I want you to know that that is not your identity. Probably that is just a process that God is taking you before you get through into your promise. So God is calling you a mighty man of valor, just like Gideon. So you are, whatever you're going through, it is not your identity. Your identity is what God calls you to be. And so I want you to call it out, and I want you to declare it, because that is who you are. You're not your reality right now. You are who God says you are.